Yeah.
What?
No, I want to watch.
Okay.
I want to watch it.
Hold on, my phone. The computer's lagging a little bit.
Okay.
Más de lo que pienso. Créeme. Dime, a tú es lo que tú querías.
Por el poder que se me otorga, los declaro marido.
I think that's so cool.
I know the wedding that happened.
Yeah.
That's dope that they allowed it.
Lost in the words that we speak. I don't even want to do this anymore. 'Cause you already know what you mean to me. And our love's the only war worth fighting for. Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. So I'ma love you every night like it's the last night.
What the?
Oh, I was gonna like dance a little bit, but okay, that's fine.
It's
Never
acting
mind.
out. It's not me.
Use
It wasn't.
me.
It was the computer. So I was trying to fix the quality of it. It said 360 HP. He was like, oh, I don't know. Could we put it in HD? Like, come on. I want to make sure you can still see the title of it. Rachel's running a little late. Mm-hmm.
You.
I want to
Just
buy
you.
YouTube
Building
Premium
your app.
so bad because I'm so tired of ads. Every 5 seconds.
On base 44. Describe it.
Wait, how are you in a box?
On my phone.
What?
On my PC, right? I'm live streaming everything on my PC, but I'm in a box on my phone because the camera that I got on my PC is not good. So I wanted to.
Same profile?
Huh? No, different profile. That's
Okay,
my
okay.
backup. Like what?
Oh, I didn't know you had a backup.
Yeah, that's my backup.
Wait, what
Had the backup.
What profile am I following? What the fuck is that?
You're following my main profile.
Oh, this is the backup. You in the box is the backup.
Yeah, me in the box is the backup.
No te confundo, no, mejor evita. Ey, un shot de cañita en casa de cañita. PR se siente cerquita. Tengo el campeonato, nadie me lo quita.
Number one, the best in the world, okay?
Puerto Rico. Como Bad Bunny va a ser del pop, ey, con reggaetón y dembow.
Quieren quitarme el río y también la playa. Quieren el barrio mío y que abuelita se vaya. No, no, suelte la bandera, ni olvide el Lelolai. Que no quiero que hagan contigo lo que le pasó a Hawái. No, no, suelte la bandera.
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. Tap that screen, share the live. If you like what you're seeing, you know, we're going to get ready for this panel in a few minutes. We're just running a little behind. Let's get it.
I'm your mother's friend with benefits.
Benefits?
Benefits.
Benefits?
Benefits.
Yeah, benefits.
With the Credit One Bank.
Shaq's in every commercial now. He got his hands in everything. Apparently he's gonna start wrestling too.
Puerto Rico está bien cabrón. De Carolina sale reggaetón y los hijos de Bayamón. Ey, ey. Quieren montarse en la ola y no han ido a rincón. Un besito pa' abuela en el
For real.
balcón cogiéndote los hoyos en la Rubicon. Esto es PR. Tierra de Maelo y
Yes,
Tego
Laura.
Calderón
It
y de
definitely
Barrel, que
was.
fue campeón. Primero que LeBron. Maldita sea. Otro apagón, vamos para los bleachers a prender un blon. Antes que Pipo le dé un buffet. Puerto Rico está en cabrón.
Está bien cabrón.
Está en cabrón.
Está bien
Puerto
cabrón.
Rico está en
Puerto Rico
cabrón.
está bien cabrón.
Ey, ey,
Bien
picheo
cabrón.
Maldiva. Yo me quedo en Palomino. Ey, si no me voy PRD.
PRD.
Un saludo a mis vecinos.
Yo,
Ey,
no,
porque el
cilantro.
calor es diferente. El sol está ahí,
¿Dónde
no.
está ahí,
Ey,
no?
la capital del perreo. Ahora todos quieren ser latinos.
Quieren ser latinos.
No, pero le falta sazón. Batería y
Batería y
reggaetón.
reggaetón.
Ey, ey.
Ey, que topan mi corrillo, que topan un montón. Ey, ey.
Pido con mi corillo que somos un montón. Le falta sazón, batería y reggaetón. Ey, ey. Pido con mi corillo que somos un montón. Welcome to the calentón. Por la mañana café, por la tarde ron. Ya estamos en la calle, sal de tu balcón. God bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas, United States, Canadá, a my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico.
Ey.
Seguimos aquí. ¡Ahora sí! De cuando te tuve, debí darte más besos y abrazos. Ojalá. Muchas gracias. Debí tirar más
The National Football League thanks you for watching the Apple Music Super Bowl 60 halftime show.
I'll replay it 1 second. About to check on. Let me text Rachel real quick. See what she got.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
Hello, guys. Welcome into the live. What we're going to be talking about today is the 11th man theory. Today, I have my friend Rachel, my friend Laura, my friend Cilantro, my friend Chitty, my friend Nicole. We're all gonna be sitting here today. We're gonna be talking about the 11th Man theory and our opinions and our own, personal feeling of the 11th Man theory, so we can get multiple people's perspective of it. Y'all ready to go to get this started with the first video?
Yep.
Shut up with the whole tree hugger bullshit.
He's a tree hugger, Sal. That's his thing.
I know it's his thing, but it's fucking lame with the tie-dyes and the vibes and the Birkenstocks always trying to get me to change and grow and take it to the next level. I mean, does that shit ever work?
What do you mean?
With chicks. Do you ever get chicks with a lame-ass angle like that? Because I'm telling you, I got a dozen chicks coming through that door in like 2 seconds. And if you fucking cockblock and pull out a Ouija board, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna fucking shoot you, Georgie.
It's not an angle.
I know it's not an angle. It's a non-angle.
As it should be. I mean, it's not about getting over. It's about being real. It's about communication.
Well, how come I never see you having any real communication with any real chicks, like, ever?
Well, maybe that's because I don't look at women the way you do, Sal. I think women are beautiful. I think they're amazing. I think they're the most magical of all of God's creations on this earth. I'm enamored with them, and frankly, I don't know how to pretend like I'm not.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the 11th man theory. Come on, everybody knows the 11th man theory.
No, stupid. Nobody knows the 11th man theory but you.
What are you talking about? Say there's a woman in a room with 10 men, and all 10 men are telling her how beautiful she is and how amazing she is, and they're lighting her cigarette and buying her drinks and just treating her like gold. Then, all of a sudden, in walks the 11th man. He takes one look at her and says, "Hey, how you doing?" Turns his back on her and starts talking to his boys. That's the guy she wants to be with, the 11th man. Not any of the 10 men who were treating her well all night, but the one guy who couldn't care less. Why? Because for some reason, women don't want nice. They don't want real. They don't want to be treated well. I mean, not at first, and sometimes not ever. And I think that's crazy. And I refuse to play that game. I mean, you are a master at it, Sal, but it's just not me. It's not who I am. I don't want to have to play that game, get a girl by pretending that I don't like her. I want to be with a woman who's real, who digs it when I'm nice to her, who doesn't see that as weakness, or take me for granted when I tell her that I think she's more amazing than anything else in the entire world. But fortunately, most women aren't like that. They say they are, and deep down inside, they want to be, but they're not.
You know, he's right. I never could understand that. When I was a kid, every girl I liked had a boyfriend, and I'd have to hear about it all the time. About how he, fuck their best friends, cheat on them, spend their money, wreck their car. And of course, they'd come crying on my shoulder because I was a good friend. And I'd ask them, why? Why don't you just dump the guy that's treating you like shit and be with me? I mean, I was right there. I'd lay the world at their feet if they let me. But they'd always say the same thing.
Oh, I can't because I love him. I just love him.
Yeah.
So we kind of in the video we kind of see like different perspective from the playboy, which is the guy that was sitting on the couch, talking the most, had the most things to say about it. Then we heard from the guy that says that he's a nice guy, and then we have the perspective from the guy that's always put in the friend group, or not the friend group, the friend zone, by the female that he feels as if like Luke goes after the 11th man, the 11th man, or the 11th man could be any number, in my opinion, because like it could be like, that one guy compared to. Okay. That one guy that could be a little. It was a notification. That one guy that could be, mysterious compared to the other guy. They'll go for that other guy compared to the other one. Thoughts, comments.
It's giving entitlement vibes to me. Like this particular guy comes in and he thinks he's entitled to this woman's time and he's going to act how he thinks the woman wants him to act just so he can get her attention.
Well, that's the thing about nice guys. There's usually an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
I'll get more into that in a second.
I've been the victim of this more than once, and I do not care to go into it. But I think the theory is not giving women the autonomy to make the decision that they want to make. It assumes that that is what women want.
Mhm.
And realistically speaking, it does not give the woman the chance or the autonomy to make the choice that she wants to make.
Habibi, isn't there
That
another version of this or an extended, an add-on version of this
Yeah,
where
there's
the
a,
guy
where he talks about like the
his actual take on it and why
yeah
he is the way he is?
yeah. Hold on 1 second. I gotta find it. So like how I take it as it could be vice versa. Like the men, go for the girl that's the girl that could be a little bit, you know, not out there. Like similar to like the woman that's mysterious. They'll go for the woman that's mysterious, just like the woman goes for the guy that's mysterious. That's how I took the 11th man theory. Whereas if like, it's not him saying that like, oh, I have to, get this. The guy that was talking about the 11th man theory, he wasn't saying like, oh, he's not basically saying I deserve to get the attention from this girl. He was just
Thank
basically
you,
saying
Melly.
that like, if that makes sense. He was just basically saying that like, oh, hold on. My thoughts are everywhere. 1 second. I'm trying to collect them.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So how I took it as
I
like,
felt that on a human level.
no, you're good. I feel that you're good. I see your point of view too, because like a man should not presume that he's going to take on or like deserves the woman's autonomy, like you were saying. I agree with that.
What are we? Can I so I know? I'm so sorry. So I
Mhm.
know like what the thing is what we're discussing the theory and the fact that people go for what is unobtainable and assume it's because that thing is unobtainable versus maybe that's just not what they want, or are we talking about the autonomy in the decision to have that be the conversation in the
No, that was the autonomy got brought into the she brought up the autonomy perspective, right? So that's why I brought up. That's why I started to talk about the autonomy perspective of it.
not a problem?
I,
I'll bookend it when you put it on there.
hmm?
Alright. Then
Just-
good. I'm ready to watch then.
Okay, okay. And this goes from the Playboy's perspective. My bad. But the theory is not one. Yeah, I agree with what Pauline said. But this guy basically, I'm gonna explain to what this guy's talking about in the video. He's basically what states what causes his reason why he became the toxic person of it. Like where he feels that like the reason why he became the 11th man compared to his friends not being the 11th man in a way, and what turned him into the playboy. But it could be vice versa as well. That one person that can turn you into that playboy or that playgirl mentality, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, he's gonna explain it.
You don't think I'm sensitive? Let me tell you something. I got more feelings in my left nut than you two schoolgirls put together.
Commercial.
Here we go. Oh, I know. I know what they say about me. I know what they say about guys like me. They say all men are pigs. All men are dogs. All men are scum. And they talk their little asses off about what monsters we are. But they don't understand that they're the very ones that created the Frankensteins they abhor.
Frankenstein was a whore?
Leave my wife out of this. Laugh all you want, but I'm serious. Every womanizer, every player, every guy juggling 3 broads at the same time is only doing so out of fear. Fear of being crushed by a woman. Because one day, back in the day, they weren't a player. They liked one girl. Just one.
Girls, of course.
And they gave it up to her, didn't
And they gave it up to her. That's right. They gave it up to her because they're little romantics back then. And they gave it up to the girl they love. And what happened? They got rocked, or they got crushed, or they got destroyed, they got cheated on, or laughed at, or something. And when they're finished picking up the little pieces of what was once their heart, you know what they said? Every single one of them made a vow.
Never to give it up again.
That's right, never to give it up again. But now we're talking about the real bastards here, the guys that break hearts occupationally. Because believe it or not, originally those cats were the most beautiful and the most romantic of all. And you know what happened? They're the ones that got hurt worst of all.
Because you never get over it.
You know, God, no! You never get over it. Yes, you recover, but you never get over it. And what happened? When they all recovered, you know what they all said? They all said, okay, I see, all right. If that's how it's gonna be, I can play that way too. So you see that we are all responsible for the cycle of the vicious circle.
So you're saying you're afraid?
Absolutely. I ain't never get my heart broken again like I did when I was 16.
But why? Why do people hurt each other like that? Why don't they just take care of each other's feelings? I mean, it's so easy.
Because people are selfish and they don't care. I mean, look, we've all done it, right? We've all been in that situation where we're with another woman and we know what we're about to do is wrong. We know that if we do this thing, it's gonna hurt somebody we care for so badly, and it'll ruin everything. I mean, everything. All the years of work that we put into it, in some cases children, entire families, and yet we look, we've got this young, hot piece of ass in front of us, and at that moment, we just throw everything away and we do it anyway. We do it anyway. We know it's gonna kill our wife or a girlfriend or whatever, but we do it anyway. And that, my friends, is why we're all so up, because we do it anyway. We're always thinking that the grass is always greener somewhere else and that the bigger, better deal is always right around the corner ready to present itself. And we forget what good friends we have right here and that the grass is pretty nice right here. But we're not kind for the most part, are we? We're not strong, and we're certainly not wise, and so we throw away the people who are the most valuable to us. We waste them like we have them to waste, and you know, Sal, if you keep doing it, you're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna be old. Or you're gonna be alone, or worse than alone, stuck with some vacuous substitute fucking one-eyed stripper in your bed who you can't talk to, and so you wanna put a fucking bullet in your head because you missed a couple truly great ones that you once had, and that you, threw away.
It's horrible.
Frightening.
Thoughts on their thoughts on their point of view.
Quiere arreglar sus papeles, pero ha escuchado que no califica para nada.
I didn't know that was coming up.
Soy la abogada Ángeles Sinsky, abogada de...
It was.
You know you're muted, right, Chili? I'm sitting here watching him talk. I'm like, what are you trying to tell us? I'm dead. What the hell was I gonna say? I don't know.
I don't agree with everything he said. I never said. I just
I
basically.
don't agree with everything because, like, also your little teenage. I mean, not saying that like your relationships as a teenager aren't real, but they're very like.
Yeah, I agree.
Depending.
You
Now,
can't
granted,
be
if you're like
16.
an adult in this relationship and you guys been together since you were 16, that's a little bit different. But I feel like young relationships, or just assuming that you're going to be in a relationship with somebody and you're not going to get hurt, is wild. People hurt each other all the time. People hurt each other as friends.
For real.
So to
I
think that
agree
you're not
with
going to
you.
hurt each other at some point in a relationship, or someone's not going to hurt you. But I also get it because I've been cheated on. But like, I don't know. I'm not somebody that carries all of that baggage into my next relationship. I go in with full trust in every relationship that I go into, which is, I know, not the norm. But somehow I pull it off.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think
That's
he
fair.
was projecting.
Yeah, he was projecting a lot of his stuff. Like, I felt like he was like what Melly said, he was venting out loud in the thing. But I don't really see his point of view. Like, how you gonna hold on to your feelings from the age of 16 to like he's like 30 or 40 in this video.
I don't remember what I was feeling at age 16. I'm 42. I have no idea. I don't remember what I was feeling. I was 16. I was angry at everything. I was about to leave Japan back to the States. That's the only thing I remember. So I don't remember a whole hell of a lot.
I think everyone carries over some form of baggage or some amount of baggage from a previous relationship to their next relationship at the end of the day, whether it's good or bad. I think it gets carried over. And then also I think everybody was pushing their own perspective onto everybody in this video, regardless of like if it was a good one or a bad one. I don't know. I feel like I can see everyone's point of view. It makes you like what Celeste was saying, or sorry, Cilantro was saying.
It's fine. I don't care that everybody knows.
Sylvester.
I think you can say like you understand and you've grown and like all of these things, but at the end of the day, there's still something that sits in the back of your head where like you're like, okay, from the last relationship, I didn't like this. And from that relationship, I didn't like that. It's still some form of carrying over into the next relationship, whether you're over it or not, you've grown from it or not. I don't know. I see everybody's perspective.
I can see what you mean by that, because like obviously you're gonna learn your wants and your don't wants in every relationship that you go through. Like you're gonna know what you're gonna put up with in your next relationship from your last relationship. I just meant like the not trusting, like the really bad stuff that comes from being in like shit relationships. I've never really cared, like the cheating, any of that. Like I don't go through my dude's phone. Like if I'm dating somebody new, now if I'm gonna copy and paste that relationship, hell yeah, I'm going through that phone. Like,
oh yeah,
like, but if it's a new person, like I go in, like I don't know, but like like Rachel or any of you, like, do you feel as though you fit, like you go with the theory, the 11th man theory? Like, do you pick the 11th person?
I think it's bullshit. I think it's superfluously dumb, and I think it's just, no matter what side you put on, if the theory is true, everybody's been the 11th man, or nobody's been the 11th man, right? Like,
what?
For it to be under the perception of like there's 10 people who are advocating for the attention of one, right? And it's the 11th person who's nonchalant that gets that person's the person's attention. I think the thing is stupid. Like, what if the other 10 folks is just maybe that's not her flavor of person or his flavor of person, right? Like maybe that's just what they like. Two, if the thing is, man, we were being really, really nice to her, or we were being really, really nice to him, and we didn't get the thing that we were expecting to get because we did these niceties. Someone came and was not nice and they got a reaction. Well, perhaps the person who was not so nice was more genuine than you in the first place, because at least they didn't like what you being nice for then.
But that's what I was saying about nice guys, because how many of us, especially like women, I don't know if men go through it, I'm just speaking for the women, how many of us have met a guy who comes up and is really nice, and then we tell him, yeah, we're not interested, and all of a sudden we're this, we're that, and we're everything but pretty.
Oh yeah, that was 99% of my dating.
So like that's what I was saying about like the nice guy. Are they nice because they're genuinely nice, or are they nice because they want something that might not be there, and then they're gonna flip that script? I'd rather go for the dude who seems like an asshole because it's more genuine than say the nice guy who's smiling in my face just because he wants to get with me.
But do you think that's the reason? Or do you think, well, I don't know. That's fair.
There's a lot of there's a lot of reasons why I go for the 11th guy, but that's just one of them.
So I guess the point of my thing is like you do think that the 11th
I was
man.
gonna say it definitely exists for sure. I don't think it's bullshit. I think it definitely does exist for a lot of people.
How many?
Yeah, I feel like some people fall for the trap of the 11th man or woman. Not saying all, but some do. Yeah.
Put it this way: if you met my son's father, 11th man.
Right, but what? So right, but what? But the 11th man theory, right, is not on the 11th man, right? It's about the 10 other guys in the room, right?
Yeah.
So my understanding, the 11th man theory, the 10 men in the room. No, that's my understanding, right? It's the
Technically, but it has nothing to do with them. I think the 11th man is like the mysterious guy who doesn't pay attention to the person, right? So like disregard the other 10 guys that are there. I think the whole point in the other 10 guys is the fact that they've been through those type of 10 guys before, and this 11th man is not giving any of that, also not coming up to them and talking to them. So it's this mysterious thing that's like pulling people in, man or woman.
Correct.
And I think that's the thing. It's because like they're being so mysterious and they're not coming up and they're not doing the things that these other 10 guys that
interesting
people have gone through before. That's making them want to be intrigued and want to know them and all this stuff. But the 11th guy can still be all of those guys in one. He could just be playing the 11th guy role, because the first guy who spoke, who said he wanted to be the 11th guy, that's the whole reason why he went into the theory in the first place. He understands that there are all these other 10 guys that are out there that women just clearly do not gravitate towards. The good guy, the bad boy, the one who's understanding and wants it and is going to keep trying, all those. But the 11th guy, it's like the 11th guy could possibly understand that those type of guys do exist. So he needs to be mysterious. He doesn't want to go up to the girl. He doesn't want to do all the things that the other 10 guys clearly failed at. Knowing that, or he just doesn't know that and he's just the 11th guy and that's just how he is.
So, okay. That makes, okay. For me, I just think that it's I think that if that is the case, right, then in every single, at any point in anyone's life, at any point in anyone's life, they are the 11th person, right? So like today, if the 11th person, the 11th man theory is true, that means if today it's not you, you just got to wait on a day for it to be you, right? You got to wait for the room to be your room. So for me, I thought the idea, okay, I thought the entire idea of like, in this case, men, right? A man, the conversation being, I don't want to pretend like I don't like women, right? I don't want to pretend like I'm the 11th guy, right? Which is what the thing is. I think that for me, I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, what if it's not any of those things? What if it's just you're not my
not their type?
You know what I mean?
What it can be, for sure. It definitely can be that case.
Because for
It
me,
could be
seems
multiple
like
things too.
in the one instance that you said, it was like, all right, what if the guy, right, the 11th man knows that there's other people out there like that, and they just choose to act mysterious? That whole thing is incumbent on him thinking that he's wanted by someone and has to be mysterious for them, which is just the inverse of the 11th man, right? One is thinking that you are superfluously so unimportant that you're not looked at, right? Because that's not you're the good guy and that's not what they want. Or the other side of it is I am wanted, so I have to do this. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little stoned.
No, what you're saying is still what you're saying is right.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, it's basically like they ignore, they just don't pay no mind to the other person. That's technically who the 11th man is. They don't pay you no mind.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not necessarily that the 11th person, man or woman, is like a bad person or that they're
No,
under
not
that.
at all.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, the theory of the 11th man has less to do with the 11th man per se, more about the 10 men that are wondering why they're not the 11th.
I can't wait. Hold on. Laura, please mute. I cannot hear him over your background noise.
I'm like trying to listen in. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I said. I'm so sorry.
You were saying the 11th man doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad.
Right, so like the 11th man and whoever it is, I don't think that it's necessarily like an act or a faux pas on their part. You know what I'm saying? Like AJ in the chat was like, oh, are they being manipulative? Are they doing something like that? The theory in itself, or at least what I read, was the 11th man, right, per se, or at least in my understanding of it, is completely independent. The theory of this 11th man is supposedly one of the 10 people there. Why are we not being looked at? Why am I overlooked? And this guy who doesn't treat you right, who's not nice, who doesn't do this, who doesn't do these things, is without a longevity way to part of that court. It's not. You wouldn't know that unless you got to know her the entire night that you were doing nice things for her. In what world is that a thing where you can accurately judge? So, you know what I'm saying?
I think I was going based off of the video because the guy, the first person speaking, was saying like he wants to be the 11th man, which means he understands that these 10 other type of guys, clearly it didn't work. So that's where it can come across as it can be like bad in this instance. If you're aware of the whole 11th man theory, I guess in this sense, and you're like, well, shit, if I have to be the 11th man to get someone, then I will be. And at that point, it is manipulating and it is lying and it is doing all these things just to be able to get someone. Then yes, but then also you could just be the 11th man and
without meaning to. It's just your personality, or it's just you don't find that person attractive.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
To me, though, the premise of there being an 11th man is like, that means that if there's an 11th man, then that means that you passed up 10 baddies because you're looking at this. I guess that's my thing, right? I guess that's my point. If you're one of the 10, right, who's worried about the 11th man, you're after this fine lady or this fine gentleman or whoever. That means that if you're focused on them, that means that you were the 11th man for 10 other women or 10 other whatever your choice was. Because why are you? Let's say, fucking super bad hottie Bobette. There's 10 other baddies at the bar. You're worried about Bobette. The other 10 baddies didn't qualify. What I'm saying is those other 10 baddies aren't the 11th. Like everybody's the 11th man.
They're the 10 people for that guy.
That's what I'm. Okay,
I got
so
you.
that guy,
I got you.
like,
Regardless, somebody is always the 11th man,
to me, the entire
or one of the
dumb
10.
because then there's no 11th man. You're just not that. That girl just
You're
don't
not that
like you.
person's type.
You're just not
Right.
that interesting.
Don't like you because in that instance, right? I know if me and 10 other dudes are like, man, shorty is super fly, and she's not paying attention to none of us, and we cop an attitude because fucking Joe Blow comes in, brother. I gotta look around the bar because if there's more than one baddie at the bar, I gotta go. You know what? I don't know why these ones didn't qualify. Maybe I need to check my fucking ego and maybe fucking see what the fuck.
What if there's only one baddie, or what if there's only one female there that you are interested in? Are you the 11th man at that point?
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, the theory in itself is like I can what I read and then what I understood from it. This is what I'm saying. You passed up 10 other baddies for this baddie that's not paying you no attention. You're upset that the baddie that you're looking at is not paying you attention. You are one of the. You understand?
Baddies, in whose opinion, though?
I guess in the eye of the beholder. But what I'm saying is you can't be picky and choosy and then not have nothing and complain you don't have nothing. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know about all that. Because then we can go into like your preference and what you prefer and all these things. Like,
but then you can't cry. Right, but what I'm saying is we can't cry that like, oh, they don't like nice guys, or they don't like guys who put them first.
No, they just don't find you attractive.
Fair.
That's
fair.
the crux of that was some of like because the clip, right? You mentioned the clip and like this is what we was going off of. All right, cool. Off of the clip, that's a lot of the stuff that they brought up was like nice guy typical shit. So what I'm saying is if that is the credence, right, or that is if we are gonna learn that school of thought, cool. I think it's silly because I'm like, how quid pro quo does it get? You know what I'm saying? If you're passing up 10 people to pay attention to one person, and then you are upset that one person is not paying attention to you, outside of preference, outside of all the things, super valid, right? Outside of those things, bro, then maybe check some of your preferences. Do you need a shorty that's fucking like looks like a Victoria's Secret Maxim model? Maybe not, bro. Maybe you settle for somebody who treats you cool. You get what I'm saying? Like preference for what? So like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying like I'm a little stoned. I looked up on it last night and I was like, man, this is interesting. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know.
Does anybody know who this K person is?
No.
They came in.
No.
Why she's speaking over you when she's cool? How they identify as crazy?
Did I speak over you, David?
No, I don't think so. Who's that?
It's open discussion, so it's like anybody can talk.
And we talk all the time.
Exactly. We talk over each other all the time. That's a part of the group. That's how it makes it work.
Okay. Anyways.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be an assumed thing of like, man, if I'm shooting 10 shots and 10 shots ain't going in, bro, I'm gonna lower the rim. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna do something that makes it more effective or more palatable to me, right?
I agree. And also, you miss every shot you don't take.
Fair, brother. But if this again, what they're saying is the 10th man, right, or the 11th man, is that you are clamoring for this thing, and it's not.
Yeah.
How many shots do you shoot the same rim on?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna shoot the same rim over and over again. I'm talking about like you can be like, I like this baddie. She don't like me back. Cool. Move to the next one. Move to the next one. Move to the next one.
Keep approaching, but to stay in and complain that they don't like you back, or like maybe 5 women don't work out for you, 10 women don't work out for you.
I was just about to say, can we play devil's advocate and say like he went for a good amount of them and it was the same?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, hey, whatever's going on, brother, we gotta check ourselves sometimes, right? It can't be everybody. It can't be everybody got a problem. It can't be everybody problem, right? You do it
Right.
100 times, and 100 times you nick, right, and it's done. You get to 101 and it work out for you, great. But if you hit 100, 200, 300, you batting 0 for 0, my brother or my sister or my homie, whoever, there's a common denominator there, right? There's a common denominator, right? Sometimes we do have to check ourselves and what we, I don't know. Sometimes we I don't know. I think a lot of the theory itself comes from, I don't understand why I don't have it and I think I should. It's like, well, why do you think that you should? Okay, and it's not servicing you. Okay, so then where does that come from? Okay,
Right.
so then is there an 11th man, or should you just be the guy that you are or the lady that you are and work for what works for you? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's a form of entitlement. Like it is. It's a form of entitlement. It's like I'm nice to you, so why don't you like me? Like just because you're nice to me, that doesn't. I mean, I do like you. You're cool as a friend, but like that doesn't mean like I want to jump in bed with you. Like that's no, that doesn't. That's not how that correlates at all. Like you
Because
could be nice to somebody and call me beautiful. If I'm not interested in you, I'm not interested. Like, how is that my fault? Why is my choice in men your like? How is me liking somebody else and not liking you my problem?
Like no, and I 100% agree with that. And like not for nothing, but like the way I understood it, at least last night, because we brought it up and immediately like I got a little stoned up. I went outside. I looked it up. I read it. It to me what it gave, right, like in the most bland way, maybe like, but it gave me very much like red pill adjacent, because it's like,
Yeah.
like, wait, all right, so like you at a bar, right, and cool, you buy shorty drink, and she chatting to you, and she being cool, and you buy some food, and she cool, she chatting to you, and you ask her for dance, and she cool, right, she go dance with you, cool, all right, get to the end of the night, right. And you expecting like a phone number, you expecting maybe a little smoochy smooch. And she's like, man, it's been great hanging out with you. Fist bump, and I'm out. You see her leave with a guy that got there 10 minutes ago. And you're like, bro, he ain't said a fucking word to her. And before she left you, she was like, excuse me, I like that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. My brother, that guy is not the 11th man. There's so much we don't know in that situation. And I know it's very hyper specific, but what I'm saying is if every situation is met with that, right? How often are you literally in a room with 10 other guys and you're like fighting for the same girl? This is a theory, right? It's an experiment of always just being the other, right? In that instance, right? Man, woman, whoever, it's wild to assume that that you, whoever you are the ultimate desire, or that you deserve that because of a nicety that you paid. It would be nice. If I like you, I like you because I like you. I don't like it because I think that's really good.
To add on to what Silly said, I saw a saying somewhere, women are not machines you put kindness coins into and sex falls out. And that stuck with me a lot, because dating in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was crazy. Like, a guy could buy me a drink and then be like, oh, why won't you sleep with me? And then people would say, well, why didn't you sleep with me? I bought you a drink. Because I didn't want to. This is not the 11th man theory. Bugs me a little bit just because it seems so entitled. A person is not entitled to my person because they bought me a drink. They're not entitled to me because they did me a kindness. And I don't want to lump every guy that I have been out with in the same category, because that's simply not true. But more men that I have dated believed that they were entitled to sex from me because they bought me a drink, because they bought me a meal. And that's not how I work. You buy me, you change my tire, cool, I already know how to do that. You bought me a meal, okay, I have my own money, I can buy a meal. Just because you buy me something does not mean I have to give you something of mine.
Fair point.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Sorry, I'm done.
No, it's okay. So, when it comes to like people doing nice things and expect things in return, yeah, a lot of people unfortunately do that. I know I went on a date once and a guy wanted a kiss, and I was like, no, no. So, I mean, a lot went into that. Also, I feel like some people are more so looking for an aesthetic than an actual relationship.
Fair. Can you elaborate on the aesthetic point that you mentioned?
So like an aesthetic would be like um sometimes someone who's very experienced or someone of a certain look or something like that, and they don't want to put in the effort, they don't want to put in the work, they don't want to do all the things that go into a relationship. A relationship is a responsibility, and depending on who you end up with, there may be more responsibility.
Okay. Yeah, I see that point too.
So do we feel like the 11th man theory doesn't exist? It's not a thing? Or you can agree with it to an extent?
Oh, I think it's a thing. It's just not a thing that I agree with.
Right.
Everyone else?
I think that not in a diminutive way or in a way that's like a minimalization of what's been said. 'Cause I think like absolutely everything has been a valid point, but I think if anything, at least for me, I don't. I think it doesn't exist. It only does if you are putting forth the concept of it, right? Like you're just not that person's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it exists. I think it's just people being whiny because they're not that person's cup of tea.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not. It has
I said it the
nothing
mean
to
way.
do-
It's okay. I got you, Julie.
No. You know. Yeah. Right. Like that's yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with AJ. Like
What did Melly say? I don't want to say I agree with Melly said. I think that, was it Melly that said it? That it's definitely a thing. But only if it's like not something you're thinking of. Like you're not subconsciously thinking like you're coming into this bar and you're gonna be the 11th man. Like if there's a female at the bar and she's been, so many guys came up to her and she's just like, no, like leave me alone. Like, no. And then a guy comes up next to her at the bar, gets a drink, and he's just vibing, chilling. And she finally like whatever, decompressing from work, decompressing from her life, whatever. And she's like, okay, I feel like I could talk to somebody. And then she sees something like he could have on a jacket that she likes, and it could be something that she could talk to him about or anything. And she could just sit there and talk to him and then realize, okay, cool, I like him. He's a cool person. And then they could chat and they end up liking each other. I think that's where I agree with like the 11th man theory can come into play and actually can be a thing. Because you're not going in thinking like, all right, be cool, be suave. You know what I mean? I'm not coming in here for a guy type of thing, and I'm not coming in here for a girl type of thing. Like, it just happened.
I think for me, like that, I think that's accurate. I think that for me, the difference would be, I think the difference is accurate. I think that's you said it really good. That's fair. For me, the difference would be that being the 11th man theory versus just being the 11th man. Right? It'd be 30 dudes at the bar. 31st, I'm the 31st. The ideology of the 11th man theory, at least, is very much like a pick-me kind of red pill adjacent. Like, you know, they don't like us because we're too nice, and you know, I try, but I got my heart broken, and that's why I believe like this, and that's why I treat them like shit a little bit, and that's why I don't give a fuck, brother. At least in the clip. You know what I'm saying? So like, if we're judging in the ideology of what the 11th man is supposed to represent, or the idea of those kind of like those kind of douchey bros, being the 10 dudes, it doesn't matter how
Rachel,
many.
you're echoing.
Who, me?
You're echoing Chili in your live. I don't know how.
Me?
Yeah, when Chili talks, you light up. You're echoing Chili
I'll
when
light
you
up when he
speak.
talks.
Hello?
Sorry, it was blurring and I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Hello?
We can hear
You're
you.
fine.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck I said, though.
You said 30. It could be the 31st man. It could be the 11th
So yeah,
man.
so what I was trying to say was the concept of the theory is like the difference between the 11th man theory and just being the 11th man. If like there's 30 dudes in the bar and you don't like any 30 of them, and someone happens to walk in the bar and you fancy them, is it now the 31st? Is it, the 31st man theory? There's got to be some level of acuity that we kind of like, or I don't know, the way that I understand, there's got to be some level of acuity to like, it's just not your day, right? Or it's just she's just not that into you. You know what I mean? Or he's just not that into you, or whoever. You know what I'm saying? For me,
It all falls down to preference, like Shay said in the comments. I agree with Shay on that one. But also, the 11th man theory, in my opinion, is not just the 11th man. It could be the one final, like it could be 5 guys and that 6th guy. It could be, like you said, 30 guys, but that 31st guy finally gets her attention. Finally, she fancies him a little bit more than the other 30 men that came to the bar. Yes, it gives very much pick me on the guys like, oh, they don't fucking like me. It's red pill. I agree. It gives a little red pill in there. But yeah, the 11th man theory, it is like Melly said, a lot of it is subconscious. Like you can 11th man or 11th woman, I would subconsciously, if I like it's a lot of it, I don't know, a lot of it is subconscious. Like I could be like, okay, all these girls coming to the bar, let's say it's the 11th woman theory, right? All the women come to the bar, all of them give me attention, but I like the one girl that's not giving me attention because of the fact that, you know, she's not yearning. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. It could fall either way. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're both sides of the coin, both sides of the aspect.
it's just two versions of the same situation,
Mhm.
right? But in either situation, right, where there's a dude or a woman,
Mhm.
whatever the preference may be or the difference may be, that the concept is they don't like nice, they don't like in the clip, they don't like what this is, so ergo we do this, right? That's why we turn into the 11th man. That's the thing. The guy says, I don't want to pretend like I don't like girls, I don't want to pretend like I don't love them, I don't want to pretend like they're not the salt of the earth. The guy in the black is going, yeah, but I treat them like this because of all of these things. My thing is, from my understanding of it, if that's the justification, the dude in the black, if that is the justification for the 11th man theory, which is what he's spouting, which is what the nice guy is kind of saying, I don't want to be that, right? That's the whole dichotomy of the scene. There's no 11th man, right? It just didn't work out for that guy. And I think that giving credence to the 11th man theory or the 11th person theory is highly self-indulgent and like superfluously egotistical. Like it's super like they don't like me because sometimes it's just a period right there that they don't like me, right? Or whoever the person is, to have like this ideology of, well, it's because there is an 11th man. All right, well now we're putting like stuff on someone who they haven't even walked through the door yet. You know what I mean? And how many 11th men are there that come in, before like someone else leaves? And now who's the 10th man, right? I don't know.
It gives off like a chase because there is a quote. I don't know if it's from the States, but my best friend from Greece, she said, told me this once, the more you spit, the more they stick. So like it's not possible, but I don't know, some people just like doing that, unfortunately. It's not my cup of tea, but people like it for some odd reason.
Fair enough. Hello.
Hello, is everybody there? Are we still here? You still live?
I'm here.
Okay, I was making sure because the screen just went like it froze, so I just wanted to make sure. Laura, Rachel, anything else? Any further comments?
I I don't really have anything to add beyond that. I do think it is a form of entitlement, and it doesn't matter who the theory is applying to. If I'm in a bar and I'm looking for a guy, or if I'm looking for a girl, it doesn't matter. Um, it's dating is a massive gray area, all the way up forever. There's no one size fits all, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander. There's none of that in dating. There's really honestly nothing else that I can say beyond it's entitlement, it's red pill adjacent, and it's not something that should be, it's something that should be considered but never applied. So I'm done with that. I'm going to mute because I'm messing with the beats.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts, yeah. Yeah,
Final
that's
thoughts? Anyone? From everyone, I feel like everyone will have a final thought.
I mean, I just think it's made up, if I'm being honest. It's just a form of entitlement, whether it be with guys or with girls.
So
Okay.
I agree. I wrote this down because I knew that there was a point I wanted to make, and I was too stoned to make it until now. So fucking good on you. I think there's a difference in perspective and perception, and I think the 11th man theory. There's no better, way to look at something through a perspective and then through a perception. Your perspective is the wider viewpoint of something. Your perception is your interpolation of a very specific thing. Your perception is ruled by your perspective, but your perspective can be ruled by your perception. I think the basis of the 11th man theory switches these two. I think that's my ending. That's my closing thought. I wrote it down. That's it.
Nicole, final thoughts?
I don't agree with it. Like, do I think it happens? Yeah, unfortunately. Would I go for a guy that's not giving me any attention or acts like he doesn't like me? No. No.
Cilantro? You say your final thoughts?
It's just like for me, like I don't know. It's just a weird. Is it in some people's heads? Yeah, I'm sure, and it just boils down to people like what they like and people don't like what they don't like. So, like for me, I don't like somebody who's like up my ass. That doesn't mean that my best friend loves people who are like that. It all just depends on like what you want and what you like in a relationship. And if that person's not it, that person's just not it. And it's not fair to put that on that person that just because you're nice to them, give them compliments, do nice things for them, that they have to like you because of that. There's different ways to be attracted to somebody. That's it.
Laura, final thoughts?
I think I let off the final thoughts.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
With what I was saying. Yeah, I already did. I don't think you went though.
I would have let Rachel go, and then I'll say my final thoughts on it.
My final thoughts, honestly, I think the 11th man theory is a thing. Just if we're going solely based off of the video, like itself, I think it's a thing. I also think it's wrong to push that ideology off on the next person that comes in. Also, I don't think it has anything to do with the whole number in itself. Like everyone was saying, it could literally be the 30th guy. It could be the second guy, you know? And I feel like the reason why I believe it is I believe it only if the person is not trying to come in with the idea that, okay, I know in order to be able to get this woman, I know I watched her and 7 guys went up to her and it didn't work. So I know I'm going to go up to her and not say anything and blah, blah. Cool. Obviously not a thing. But if someone's just walking in and just not paying any mind because their whole mindset is like, had a shit day at work, I'm going to the bar, I'm gonna have a drink, and then I'm leaving. Cool. I understand that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like on both sides. Agree with it, don't agree with it. I can see all sides. I understand. Yeah.
My final thoughts on the theory is that, like, does it exist? In some aspects it does, some aspects it doesn't. Where like it's all in, like David was saying, it's the perception, right? How a person or the person perceives the situation. Like, do I believe a guy, the 11th guy just goes in there like, hey, I'm just gonna act totally different because I see everybody else acting, giving this girl attention, so I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what she, I'm gonna pretend like she don't exist. I don't think that happens. So I feel as if, like, my brain's just all over the place. Hold on one second. I'm trying to collect my thoughts. Oh, I have a brain fart. One second. Brain fart. So like basically, I feel as if yes, the 11th man theory can exist, but it also cannot exist at the same time. Like it could be, it's all dependent on the situation, what's going on. But in my opinion, it is very much of like a pick me type of theory. Like where it's just like, why didn't this person pick me? They should have picked me. I was the most nicest guy in the world to this person, and they went for the, the jack, but the jack person. So I feel as if, like, they should just, like, that person that has that perception, they should just pick up and then just move on to the next person. And stop worrying about being the 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, or 10 guys in the room. Be the person that to be what you think is the 11th man to the next person. You know what I mean? Give the person what they, the attention that they want or something, depending on if, like Cilantro said, she doesn't like a lot of attention, but her friend likes attention. So it might not be that might not be your cup of tea. There's a person that wants all the attention in the world. Go for that person, not for the person that doesn't. I think my thoughts all over the place. That was my final thought, but it was all over the place. I don't know if that made sense.